the last video, I talked about the signs that a person is getting manipulated. And yes, those are the huge red flags that we need to look out for, and we need to be very careful. If we see such kind of attitude, if we see such kind of behavior in people, then yes, it becomes very important that we need to be alert, and we need to acknowledge the fact that yes, these are the emotional predators, these are the manipulators. Just in case you're wondering what I'm talking about, then I will just post the the video link in the description box below. So basically, this particular video is an extension of that video. In the last video, I talked about the 5 signs of a person getting manipulated, and in this particular content, I would be talking about the ways in which we can actually protect ourselves, we can safeguard ourselves and keep our emotional health better by using certain techniques, so that we can stay away from the manipulators. Or if that is not possible, if that is kind of inevitable, then how best can we save ourselves on an emotional level from such people? And let me tell you that majority of all the physical ailments that we go through during our lifetime, it is always termed as psychosomatic. No, when I say psychosomatic, what does it mean? Psychosomatic means that anything that comes out in the form of physical ailment usually starts at the psychological level. So whatever is there in my uh, whatever the struggles that I have at my mental or emotional level, that gradually, eventually, it will start influencing my physical health also. So it is that important that we need to stay aware, we need to understand, we need to acknowledge that our mental health is very important. And that's the reason why we need to always try and have the knowledge how to safeguard ourselves, or how to protect ourselves from such unwanted psychological hurt or pain. And I would like to tell one thing, which I was a person. I was very sensitive in the initial years. I was always very sensitive, be it in my school days, in my college days, still very recently. It was like I would be very good to people, and I would always expect the same thing in return. But when I never used to get that kind of attitude, and I used to feel as if I was not treated the way I was supposed to be, or the way I thought I deserved, I used to feel very dejected, and I used to feel very kind of, I would not like to use the big word like depressed, but yes, of course, I used to feel low. And later, like with my experience and with my age, I started realizing one vital thing which I would love to share with you all today. And that is, what, a person who knows he or she can hurt you, like, you have been vulnerable in front of that person, be it your friend or any relationship with your loved one or anything. You trusted that person, you became vulnerable in front of that person. And so this particular person knew that they had the authority to destroy you by their words, by their attitude, whatever. They knew that if they can hurt you, that would really destroy you at an emotional level. They knew that, but still they made a choice to do so. So now we need to realize that I'm not saying vulnerability is weakness at all, because in my humble opinion, staying vulnerable is the most courageous thing a person can ever do. It takes a lot of courage to stay vulnerable, to stay authentic in your life. So if that is your quality, safeguard that quality. Do not try to have this feeling that, okay, if I'm authentic, if I am vulnerable, I'll be taken advantage of, so let me let go of all such qualities in me, and let me try to be diplomatic, let me try to be cunning like the others. No, please don't do that mistake. Always save your good qualities that you have in you. Just because you experience something bad doesn't mean that you have to let go of your good qualities. So when I used to get hurt, I used to feel really bad. And I used to, the worst thing I used to do to myself was, I was on a regular basis, I used to do this exercise in my mind: rewind and play, like go back to that situation, go back to that particular circumstance that really made me feel so bad and miserable, just go back over there, remember all the words, remember all those harsh words, all those you know, bad behavior, me being humiliated or insulted, whatever. I used to go back every now and then. I used to go back to that place, experience that hurt and pain every day, every possible chance that I used to get. I used to rewind and play. Then I started realizing, out of the experience and out of all the spiritual knowledge that I've been able to gain, I realized one thing, that the person who had the rights to destroy you at an emotional level, that person did it. Knowingly, that person has done it. And that person knows that, the hurt was caused and the damage was done. That person knows it very well. But that person just moves on. It is only one time thing that the person will do. That is one sentence, one harsh sentence, or one particular circumstance, or one situation that the person does and goes away. Just goes away. That the person doesn't even look back. If that person was so kind to look back and have a sense of remorse and maybe apologize, that would have been a different story, right? But such people, what they do is they'll cause the damage, they'll cause the hurt, and they'll just go. They'll just move on. They'll not even care to look back at the situation, or do any introspection. They'll not do. If they were such good people, they wouldn't have hurt you, right? So always have that one thing in your mind, that yes, this person had the authority to hurt me and still chose to hurt me, and does not acknowledge to, does not have a sense of accountability, or even the urge to apologize. So now who is the loser? The person who had to do, did that, told you all nasty things, hurt you in every way, went away. Now who is doing the real damage to you? That person did just once to you and went away. But who is doing the real damage to yourself? It's you. You are doing the worst damage to yourself. That is by doing that rewind and play, rewind and play. This is what I realized. I realized that I'm my worst enemy. I'm literally being my worst enemy. That person just did it in one place, one circumstance, one situation, and forgot and went away. But what am I doing to myself? Why am I punishing myself so much by doing the rewind and play, rewind and play? What am I gaining? Right? So please, if you are someone like me, if somebody is like, yeah, I would like to call sensitive, and I don't feel calling sensitive is also wrong. Being vulnerable, being sensitive is strength. In my opinion, it is strength, because not many people are showing that these days. So it is a rare quality. Never let go of your qualities. So yeah, if you are a sensitive person and if you are vulnerable and you have faced situation and you've got hurt, then just please keep this thing in mind, that the person who caused the hurt will just go away. The real damage is done by you. If you are revisiting that particular incident, if you're revisiting those words, so just stop there. You are the one who's going to decide when your hurt or pain is going to stop and when your healing will start. As simple as that. Just keep that in mind. So with this particular thought, I would like to start today's content. And as the title suggests, I would like to come up with the ways in which we can actually protect ourselves from such emotional predators. So in case you love such kind of contents and you're interested, then please stick till the end of this video, stick around, and it will be useful for you, because here I'm not a life coach and I do consider myself not an expert to be speaking about all such topics. But yes, I am a human being who has got experiences, who has seen life so far. And yes, I have some spiritual knowledge because of all these things. And I'm more than happy to share all my experiences with you, lovely homemakers. So if you're interested in such kind of contents and you're new to this community, then please do consider to subscribe to the channel. And if you're already a part of this community, then please welcome back. So without any further ado, now let's start the video. Knowledge is the key. Knowledge is the true treasure. Be it anything, you're dealing with anything, if you have the knowledge, then you are the winner. Half your battle is won. just because you have the right kind of knowledge. Always keep that in mind. See, it's like you have to confront your enemy, or you have to have a fight with your enemy. At that given point of time, what do? First, you need to understand what your enemy is, how the enemy thinks, or how the enemy behaves, and how does the enemy respond or react. These are the things that you need to know. When you come to know about it, it's like, as I said, half your battle is already won. All you have to do is, face your enemy, defeat the enemy, as simple as that. And in this scenario, in this context, the enemy is the kind of manipulative people that we meet. So first you need to understand what are these people, what is their motivation behind manipulating. Once you have this kind of firm knowledge, and you know about the signs of these people, like what exactly do they project in their behavior, in their attitude, if you come to know about all these things, then believe me, it becomes so easy for you to stay alert, first of all, that yes, these are the huge red flags that I need to be aware of. And the second thing is that you will understand that, okay, fine, these are the signs. So I know what I'm dealing with, and I know what my enemy is. So, yes, knowledge is the key, and we are so blessed. The present day, scenario, if you consider, we have information everywhere. Technologically speaking, we are at an age where we can consider ourselves to be leading the most sophisticated life, because any information that I need is just a click away, right? And initially, what used to happen when we wanted any information, then it used to be so cumbersome. We had to go to a particular source, and for that matter, for the for the sake of mental health or emotional health, the sources would be not so easily available. Like, if I want to know something, what am I dealing with, or something like that, then I had to go through sources which are not so easy to gather, or whatever, like that. And then basically that used to be cumbersome. But right now it is not like that. As I said, it is just a click away. So please make the most of it. Always keep yourself updated with such things, because it shouldn't be that you are undergoing a pain, you're undergoing that hurt, but you're not understanding what exactly, where it is stemming from. That is even more frustrating, wherein you know that you are dealing with a problem, and you're not understanding what's the solution, or you're not understanding what exactly am I dealing with, or you're not understanding what is the kind of person I'm dealing with. That's really, really damaging. So yes, I would want to emphasize on this particular point that knowledge is the key, and please make the most of it by collating all the kind of knowledge that you need. You know, if there is anything, like, anything that's bothering you, then try and understand what is it. It's very simple, as like, if you feel that somebody is manipulating, then it's so easy for me to collate the knowledge about what the manipulator does, how exactly they approach, or anything that is related to this particular topic. I will always get good material on the internet. And even the most useful way is to have good conversations with your loved one, or with somebody whom you feel can help you out, right? So always, knowledge is always important. Just understand what you're dealing with, and half your battle is won. So never ignore this particular point. If you really want to protect yourself, if you really want to safeguard yourself, then please rely on the knowledge that is available all around you. It's just that you need to collate your thoughts, and you need to just bring everything at one place, and then understand that, okay, I am dealing with this. It can be as simple as that, rather than just undergoing that kind of hurt and pain, and not understanding what exactly is triggering all these things. So yes, this is the first point, and that is to try and have the knowledge about what you're dealing with. Whenever we hear this particular term, setting boundaries, we always feel it means just pushing the people away, right? Or building those, those imaginary walls mentally, wherein people can never approach us, and we are not available for the people to interact. No, that is not the true meaning. Setting boundaries does not mean that you are distancing yourself away and you're leading a solitude life so that you don't interact with people and then you don't have problem. No, that doesn't mean that way. Setting boundaries doesn't have that kind of meaning. Setting boundaries basically means that now you know your worth, and now you know that this needs to be protected. See, the thing is, as long as I'm ignorant, as long as I feel that, okay, I need approval, I need validation from others, I am so dependent on others' point of view that I never ask myself, what do you want? Or what is your worth? I will never do that, right? But here, you know your self worth and you know your true self. It is then you say that, yes, this is precious for me. It's like something very precious for you, you know it, you will protect it. If you think it is not precious and if you don't even know the value of it, you will not even have the sense of protecting it. It's as simple as that. So it's very important. The initial step is to know your worth and to stay very confident in life, because vulnerability doesn't mean that you are giving away yourself to people, and people are the ones who are going to decide uh, they're going to decide your attitude, your behavior, your emotions. No, that is not the meaning of vulnerability. Vulnerability is something that you are ready to mingle with people, you are ready to show your true self, your authentic self. But the true wisdom is, even when you're staying vulnerable, you should be able to recognize your self-worth so that your vulnerability will not be taken advantage of. As simple as that. So make sure that you have this knowledge about your self-worth, and when you know that, qualities like vulnerability, qualities like staying sensitive in life, all these are precious qualities that you have, and now you know that this, a kind of makes your self-worth, this kind of makes what you are, this actually shows your authenticity, then you will always be there to protect it. And how do you protect it? By setting boundaries. That is, you're protecting your self-worth and you are setting a standard for yourself. It's not like I am very pricey, or I am very much unapproachable. No, that is again the most negative way of taking setting boundaries. It is a very simple concept, that is, you are taking yourself at a level where you know that is your self-worth, and now at that level you're very much sure that when you meet a person who cannot match you at that level, you are having the knowledge that you will not stoop down to that person's level just so that you will maintain the equation, just so that you will have the friendship with that particular person. That will not happen. When you set boundaries, you'll make it clear that this is the way I think, this is the level where I think about myself. Now, if you want to interact with me, then you have to elevate your thoughts to this level. You're telling it to the other person. So, this way, you will not be sacrificing your authenticity. You will not be sacrificing what you truly are. And you will not feel bad about staying vulnerable, because now you know that the qualities like vulnerability or staying sensitive, it's not weakness, rather it is courage. So yes, always set boundaries, always make sure that people just don't use you like doormat, or they just don't manipulate you and then leave you in complete uh, kind of puzzled state of mind, wherein you're not understanding, what did I do to receive such kind of treatment, what did I do for being used like this. You will not be in that particular position. You will kind of command the authority that, yes, these are my boundaries, and if you can comply, if you can actually afford to be at that level, then you're most welcome. But do not expect me to come down to your level and please you, or try to save the connection. That knowledge will be possible when you will set boundaries for yourself. So yes, the The second most vital point, when you have to safeguard yourself from these emotional predators, is the knowledge of setting boundaries in your life. Always remember this point. Self love is mostly misunderstood as selfishness. Right from our childhood, what are we taught? We are taught, like, don't think too much about yourself all the time. Be of some help to others, which is a good thing. I'm not saying that, we were taught wrong. We are always taught that, you should be kind hearted, and you should always, be of some help to other people, and you should not constantly think only about yourself. So, with this kind of knowledge and the concept of self love, people are getting confused and people are messing up internally, at a mental level, that, oh, if I take care of myself, will I be called selfish? Such thoughts will come in people's mind. And there are also times, when we start taking care of ourselves, be it at physical level, mental level, emotional level, at whatever level we are taking care of ourselves, and suddenly we feel, are we getting self obsessed? Are we, like, ignoring others and just keeping ourselves ahead of everyone? Such thoughts will come. But it's very important, that we understand the concept of self love. Self love, as the word suggests, it is very simple. It's it's the kind of love and compassion that we give to others. We have to just, have the knowledge that the same we also deserve. We too deserve the same kind of self love, because when we are in hurt and pain, it is this particular thing that will really uplift our soul, and which will really kind of make us realize that, yes, it's uh, it's such a beautiful concept that I can take care of myself. Others can do things for you, others can talk good things for you, but the the kind of therapy that we get with our own with our own assistance is something, that cannot be expressed in words. And we all have come across this particular example wherein, we realize that when somebody gets hurt or somebody is in pain, and this somebody is my loved one, or somebody who's I'm totally emotionally attached to, and maybe friend, maybe my loved one, whoever, and if that person is going through some kind of hurt or pain, instantly what I do is I go sit with that person and I'll say, it's okay, it's okay, don't be so harsh on yourself. uh, in fact, we also say that I am there with you emotionally. We can come out of all these things together. I will always be there with you. Don't be harsh on yourself. And all these things, we will console them in a way that, they feel so good. But where we go wrong, when we face such challenging situations, when we are in that kind of hurt and pain, we just forget to do that to ourselves. Right? We just forget it. In fact, on the contrary, we start becoming so harsh on ourselves. It's like, how how could you allow this person to use you and throw you? Or how could you be just a doormat? Were you not wise enough? Did you not understand what was going on with you? Or how could you take that humiliation? How could you take that insult? What's wrong with you? You should have stood up for yourself. We all of a sudden we become so harsh. But self love teaches us, at those moments we should not be harsh to others. In fact, we should show that extra compassion. We should stop making ourselves feel guilty about things, and we should say that, yes, fine, I understand the situation that made you so vulnerable, and that made you so powerless in a particular situation, that you got insulted and you literally let yourself down. I know, I can understand that. And I'm showing compassion to you and I'm going to rebuild you. These are the kind of self talks that we need to do. So, self love doesn't just mean that, you go to the spa and have a wonderful time and come back and then you say, wow, I'm doing self love. Of course, this is a part of self love. I will never deny that, going and pampering yourself in a spa and having your own day out and having your own me time, it's the best way you can, have self love. Of course, that is a part of self love. But then self love is even more than that, not just pampering yourself on a physical level. It's also about taking care of yourself on an emotional level too. You need to be there for yourself, just like the way you're being there for your friend, for your loved one. Be there for yourself too, and that is self love. And in a situation where you have been, manipulated, or you have been interacting with people who are extremely manipulative and who have really, really drained your energy out and made you so emotionally weak, during such time you should always have the awareness of showing that self love. Because once you show self love, you will build your self worth. Once you build your self worth, you will build your boundaries. And once there are boundaries, that is when you are really safe. Just like the physical boundaries that we have to make our houses safe, we need to make some kind of boundaries for our emotional health as well. And that happens only when we know our self-worth, and we are in a position where we are ready to say that this is what I want. I'm not going to settle for breadcrumbs. If I can give 100% to somebody, or in particular uh, connection or equation, then why not I get the same thing in return? This All these things will happen when you build that kind of self-worth. And that self-worth will come only through the knowledge of self-love. So never take this concept of self-love for granted, ever. It is, I feel it should be the number one priority of each and every person, so that they stay completely emotionally and mentally safe in this big bad world. So yes, I would love to emphasize on this point, and that is always show the self-love. We live in a world where we do not get the chance to choose the people for ourselves. If that would have been the case, then obviously I would have chosen the best people around me all the time. But yeah, it doesn't happen, right? Life literally throws challenges at us, and it also, makes us meet people whom we, kind of get hurt, we go into pain. And it's not that we are inviting it, or it's not that we are manifesting for hurt and pain, but yes, we end up getting hurt, we end up getting that, end up getting into that zone of that kind of sorrow and pain. So one thing is for sure, as I said, we cannot choose the people in our life, but luckily we can choose the way we uh, conduct ourselves emotionally. We can choose the way in which we can respond rather than react. And yes, this is our choice, and we need to acknowledge and exercise these choices in life very wisely. And having the knowledge of all these things is very good, because we may just, all the time focus only on our physical health in terms of having a good diet, going for exercises. And sometimes we forget uh, these emotional aspects in our lives. And without our knowledge, it just makes its house in our um, mentality, in our emotions. And without our knowledge, again, it will show its influence on our physical health. And as homemakers, let's understand one thing, that be it our physical health, mental health, or emotional health, all these things are very vital, because it's not just about us. There are our family members who really depend, who really rely on us. So keeping our physical and mental health is very important, because we need to maintain the functionality, and also carry that image around the house that yes, I am strong enough. I am strong enough, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I'm strong enough. I'm here, and I will extend that kind of strength and support to all you people. So that should be our attitude, rather than, giving up, and staying in a place where, we are emotionally hurt all the time, and we're cribbing or nagging. So yes, having the knowledge of all these things is prime important in my view. And I hope you liked it, today's content. And if you have really liked it, then please share your feedback in the comments section below. And until next time, I would always recommend that apart from cleaning your house and organizing your house very well, it's also important that you have the knowledge about the mental and emotional health as well. So, until next time, take care of your mental health, take care of your emotional health, and always be a happy homemaker. Thanks for watching this video. Thank you.